Good morning. It's early. It's bright. It's possibly going to be raining. I don't know. I'm not going to look out the window. I'm not going to look out the window. Actually, looks quite nice out there. Welcome back to Dice and Bolts. This is the semi-regular series in which I go through the various different games that are on my role-playing game shelf or gaming shelf and give a breakdown as to the core mechanics as to how they work, just nice and quick. Yeah, so as I said in the last couple of videos that I did yesterday evening, it's been a while. Now, this one I'm doing is called Not the End. This is an absolutely beautiful game. I've done a full review video of it somewhere else on the channel. This is by Mana Project Studio, available in the UK through Modiphius and through some of the smaller independent online retailers. It is a gorgeous book. It is square hardcover. The artwork is fantastic and absolutely amazing. It's a generic game, very narrative in its focus, and the core dice mechanic that we use, or the core mechanic that we use, because we don't use dice, is a bag and some coloured tokens. So what happens is you have two different coloured tokens, and it doesn't matter what they are. I'm a sucker for custom bits, so I've bought the official ones, which are purple and yellow, because apparently there are no recorded instances of people being purple-yellow colourblind. But you can use red and black, you can use red and green, as long as you've got two different coloured tokens and an even number of each of them. And the way that it plays is that when you are facing a task, you take the bag, or a bag, and you would put in a number of success tokens, so purple ones for example, equal to the number of traits that your character has that you can put in play. The character sheet for this game is what suckered me in. It's hexagons. It's a hive of hexagons. And you start in the middle and you have your core archetypal trait, and then you have some descriptive qualities around that, and then around that and linked to the other ones you have abilities, which are skills, more defined. They get more specific as they go out. So if your grizzled veteran warrior is attempting to defeat through armed combat a bunch of opponents, you say, okay, well, my core archetype, grizzled armed veteran warrior, counts. I've got frontline soldier training. There we go, there's another one. And I've got sword play, and I have an additional trait that you are skilled in one-on-many combats rather than dueling. So there's 4 positive traits. The storyteller will then give you a difficulty based on how difficult the task is, and this adds a number of the negative traits counters. So one soldier versus a bunch of opponents, will say that's difficulty 3. Okay, and generally you stick them all in the bag and you can draw between 1 and 4. It's entirely up to you how many you draw. The storyteller will also let you know what the danger of the task is. So on this draw, it's difficulty 3, so we've got 3 negative traits in there. But if you draw 2 of the misfortune tiles, the yellow ones, that's the danger. You'll be out of the scene. Not necessarily dead, but you'll be narratively removed until you can be brought back in by agency of the story, if you're doing a one-on-one, or by the other actions of the other participants. And in some cases there will also be a depth, which is the number of successes that you need to do. Normally you just need 1 success token, and then any additional one gives you narrative bonuses, gives you you can bank them against future draws, like by putting them on the traits that you've used in this test. You can then put one to say, okay, well that's kind of geared me up for this one. And then another means of the character progression in this game is by lesson cards. There's a similar deck of cards that give you additional ways to spend your successes and misfortune tokens to break the rules. You draw between 1 and 4 tokens, and then after you've done that and seen what they are, you can choose to push it and then draw up to 5. The big difference is, if you've just done a standard draw, you as a player choose how the misfortune tokens, or the negative yellow tokens in this instance, are spent. So you can say, well, that's going to be 1 token on the adrenaline misfortune complication. I'm going to have the complication that I'm battered and bloody. I'm going to have the complication that I'm being disarmed. And then if you push and then do the full draw to 5, you've then got to give all of the negative complications that have been drawn to the storyteller, and then they will choose. So you get a much better chance of success. However, you lose narrative control of how the bad things are going to be. So in this circumstance, a grizzled warrior versus a bunch of enemy soldiers, and we're going to draw 3. Okay, it's difficulty 1. Sorry, it's difficulty 3. The depth is 1. We only need 1 success. The danger is, say, 2. So we'll have, oh, there's 1, 2, 3. Awesome. I did actually draw that blind. That's fantastic. These tokens are so nice and so tactile. They are 3mm acrylic. Wonderful. And when I got them, they still had the they're laser cut, obviously, and they still had the sticky paper on each side of them, just to protect them in transit. So with 3 successes, or 3 I don't remember what the phrase is, it's a little bit early. With 3 positive tokens, we say, okay, well that one, the first one buys us the ability that we've defeated these guys. I'm going to bank 1 and put that on my trait 1 versus many fighting. We're sneaking into a castle. There's going to be other instances where we are outnumbered. And I think this one I'm going to spend and say, narratively, we saw where all of these guys came from, and it showed us like where the sally port is for the castle, which is going to be an easier way in than trying to get through the main gates or to sneak in. So we've got a narrative way in the token. Yeah, that's not the end. Fantastic game. I normally say roll well, but I can't in this one. Roll well, draw well, choose well, and I'll see you soon.